I think Dino's is the biggest truck show there is in the world.
Every time I think it reaches its peak, the next year, it just amazes me.
Dino has never said, I want to grow it bigger. It just organically has done this because when you're a good person and you do the right things and you hang out with the right people and you put everyone together, things happen. And this is what the Get Down is all about.
You know, to see him 6 a.m. shaking everyone's hand driving to the event, personally greeting every truck that comes in. It's a family-run event, and you can see that, you can feel that.
There's a hat for every head at the event. I don't care if it's a $500,000 truck or it's the one that you worked on like I did or whatever. We just enjoy that you bring it out.
When you get to come together at the grand finale, the grand poobah, the Super Bowl, the big meetup, the get down, doesn't get any better than that. Trucks to me, C10s, K10s, Blazers, classic Chevy trucks, there's no better. I've always been extremely passionate. A lot of that comes from being a kid. You don't realize it. You're sitting there in your passenger seat of your dad's truck, you're hanging out with your grandpa, you're looking at that dash, windows down, you got seeds in your mouth, life's good. And you're like, yeah, I like these trucks. So what happens is you think about the cycles of cars. Say, you got the 32 Ford guys, right? The good guys, the old dudes, and then you've got the muscle car era. And you've got the Camaros, the Cudas, the Chevelles. Well, that class of '83 was like, I really can't afford it. And these old trucks, I've got my grandpa's truck, and they were just throwing the keys, right? Maybe their dad got a muscle car because he wanted a muscle car, and they gave the kid the old Chevy truck that was the work truck. Well, then they made them cool. And so then we saw them lower them, lift them, shave them, paint them. And for me, I'm the class of '92, I'm like, those guys are rad. Those vehicles are rad, and I believe that that kind of started that movement because of that. So then I also think what happens is availability. And from the GM perspective, we catch a lot of flack where I know guys that'll be like, you guys can build a truck out of a catalog. Not our fault, right? Because they made so many of them. At one point I interviewed a guy, he said they were making a truck a minute off the line for GM. So whether they're making one a minute or one every 10 minutes, that's still a lot of trucks.
About a year ago, we talked about doing a project like this because they invested so much into their square body program. And so every part piece, like trim, glass, handles, every panel, everything we built with AMD to put together this truck. It's kind of a weird concept to think about that no truck came into the shop and was restored. A bunch of parts came into the shop and then a truck left.
You know, trucks are just, they're fun, they're easy to build, and they're something you can drive while you're building.
You know, since I've been 13 or 14, I've never not had a C10. I worked at a gas station and they had a '63 Chevy short bed truck that I would go around and do tire repairs. That's kind of where the whole truck thing came in for me, is that driving that 3-speed on the column and just loving that truck so much. My mom used to always tell me, oh my gosh, Dino, we'd be eating dinner, you smell like gas, eat outside. I'm an older generation dude, so the internet really didn't interest me until I found out there was cars on it. In fact, when they were talking about the internet and online, I kind of never knew it because I really did work on cars all the time. That was what I did. I subsidized my family with working on cars, and then when I got in the appliance business, because I found out that it was much easier to get 50 washers in my backyard, and they were much easier to work on than cars, so I switched over, and that's kind of how I got in the appliance business. But when I got on the 67 to 72 truck forum, which at that time was a monster, there was no social media, there was no Instagram, there was none of that stuff.
The way that we met, all of us, is through the forum, the 67, 72 forum. And that was where we all had, you know, our little undisclosed names, although I still had the John Oro there, so that was there, Dell, obviously Dino, Sam, there's a bunch.
You know, you'd get on there and then you were pumped about working on your truck, and then you'd go in there and then you would show progress. You know, I call it chronicling. I would chronicle stuff that I built all the time. Well, when I got on there, there really wasn't even a 60 to 66 area. The 60 to 66 trucks, which are my favorites, you know, they were just like nobody cared. So I could consume those so much, and I loved those trucks from my early days. You know, the 67 to 72 truck was always like, to me, the 32 street rod. You'd see those guys build those trucks, and even though I do like them, but those guys would spend a bunch of money and you'd walk right by them because they were so overdone. But the 60 to 66 trucks, man, that was a different grip. So you'd build stuff, and then you would chronicle every time, and then people would respond. And there were so many smart guys on there. There was cats that could tell you anything. If you put something up, what's the bolt on? Man, dudes knew it. So there was just a wealth of information. Rene, C10 King, was a dude that was on the truck site. And Rene would talk about being the king, and I was like, dude, I got more trucks than you do. So we had a little bit of fun rivalry with that stuff, knowing that he had the same blood coursing through his veins as I do. Well, he would do a barbecue at his house, and he had a big piece of property. I thought about, I'd like to do something like that for Good Guys, which was at that time was the only show in our town. I decided to invite some friends. I have a little house at that time in Central Phoenix, and I built a big garage. So I was like, hey, you guys come out, we're Italian, of course we're gonna feed you. So these cats came out, we had about 30 or 40 people. And then on Saturday we got up and got on the freeway, and we acted up like we had just got brand new Schwinn's for Christmas, man. We were mixing it up. So we got out there, and that was a good old time. So I had an appliance business, which not too far from there, that I had a vacant lot that was really unkept. So I said, man, that was a lot of fun. Let's move everybody over this year. And of course, Sam, which I had met through cars, was the guy who named it.
When I was talking with Dino after the first backyard party, I said, hey, if you create more of an organized event with a car show flyer, people will feel a little bit more comfortable traveling from Seattle. It's because remember, at this point, it's the Forum. So this is when the first time where people could have BFFs in different states, but they don't want to travel from other states because if it's just some guy's party, what if the night before they're on the road and you're like, oh yeah, my wife and I got in a fight and the party's off. I said, so can I make a suggestion? Let's make it an actual event and create a car show flyer. And he says, great, I like the idea. So at that time, I was really good friends with Brian Stupski. And Brian Stupski's really an A-list artist, designer. I said, Brian, I got a special favor. Can you make us like an old school car show flyer, but with trucks for a little event we want to do? I brought Dino kind of a rough draft of the artwork, and I said, hey, this is what it's going to be. It's really cool. He loved it. I said, it's only $1,000. And Dino goes, yeah, I'm not going to do that, Cat. So I said, look, I'll pay for it because I really think that this is going to be worth it. It's going to be something. In exchange for me paying for it, I put my trucks on the back just in case the show didn't work. At least I had a nice piece of artwork with my trucks.
I remember talking to Nate Porter from Porterbuilt. He's like, hey, are you gonna go to this get down thing? And I'm on the forum and kind of lurking is what we used to call it. And I'm like, yeah, I think I'll go. You know, I don't have a truck to take or trucks in the shop or getting built or whatever. And I remember Nate being like, nah, just go over there.
So we just did it at my appliance shop, and then 700 to 800 people showed up the very first time. And then I was like, oh man, I'm gonna get pinched because at that time I didn't get a permit. I didn't think that many people would show up.
His brother's grilling up burgers and meatball sandwiches and just got pizza, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger. And people were coming from all over. This one guy drove from like Canada. I remember talking to him a couple times. I'm like, you really gonna have to move this? And he's like, nah, I'm not gonna move it, Cat.
We moved it to an iconic water park that was here, and at that time, the parking lot I thought was ginormous. We were like, wow, we're good. We were still trying to stay with the formula, so at that time, we had bought like 800 pizzas from Papa John's, because we were like, we're gonna try to feed you guys. We must have blown a gasket. That was a dumb idea. The truth was, we had Papa John's involved. They delivered all these pizzas. Everybody had a good time. Everybody was very, thankful for just we had pizza. So we killed the water park and had to move it. So then Westgate, a big outside community entertainment district, TVs, bars, and it's right next to the stadium, so it's where the stadium entertains. So we got involved with those guys and used their parking lot, and at that time it was really a big parking lot. Like biblically, to me, I was like, I'm like, we're good. We got a home, we're good. Man, the first year we killed it. And we got a bunch of vendors. I remember when we hit 50 vendors, we were like, man, this is nuts. We had stayed only Friday then, just Friday then. And then as soon as we got to the point where the next year we had 75 vendors, and then we had so many people saying, why can't we bring our cars? And so we said, hey, let's do 2 days. So we got a hold of the venue. We got Friday, all trucks, same that we're doing now. Saturday, GM anything only that you can bring in, that was GM. And then we started soaking up more and more of their parking lot to the point where we had, I don't even really remember the spaces, but I think it was about 3,500 spaces. It was really, really fun, but it became a ton of work.
It's 2020. We just started in the garage media. Everybody was talking about an event called Dino's. We weren't sure what to expect. We show up here at the Westgate. We had our very first booth, and it was a pretty neat turnout. Even though it was during the pandemic, the spirits were high, the trucks were low. It was an amazing turnout, and I got a really good vibe. The following year, the show literally doubled in that parking lot. And I believe 2022, we're here in the parking lot of State Farm Stadium, and I almost want to say it quadrupled.
We've expanded into the complete property. There's 18 acres, okay? We don't use the stadium. That's the only thing we don't use, but we have free trailer parking. We have free public parking, which most of the stadium, we actually pay for that because the stadium likes to run that and charge for parking cars. 25 bucks to park a car. I'm like, you can't come to a free show and have to pay for parking. That's just dumb.
It's a beautiful thing to see somebody who's doing it for the right reason. It's not about money, it's about the experience. If it can enhance the experience of the Get Down and it doesn't cost people any money, it's coming to the Get Down. I think is important to talk about too is that we have gigantic giveaways that you get a free raffle ticket, must be present to win. That's the whole rule of the game. So go to a free place and go home with a free engine is probably not heard of anywhere. It's a pretty big gift to be giving out to people, but when we initially were gifted with the first one, they really gave it to us and said, hey, we would like to give this to you so you could raise funds for yourselves to enhance the show with. And Dino said, heck no, was his exact words. He said, if I get it for free, we're giving it away for free. And it started with one engine and now it has grown to 3 crate engines and a transmission.
Running a show is like running a business. It's very hard. And without the right people, the people that have helped Dino along the way, you know, now we're really lucky. You've got project manager #1 is going to be Terry. I look at it kind of like power couple. You have power couples that work well together, communicate well together, and that's what they're doing. And we're having a great time.
You can't put the brakes on Terry, and if you talk to her, she's just infectious. She's going to take care of you, give you everything you want.
Our team is Dino and myself. We used to do it from our kitchen table, but now we've expanded into, we have an office now at home.
As we expanded and Terry takes more and more and more and we get more vendors, I get to see everything in the industry.
There are just under 250 actual vendor booths this year.
Our vendors come in and, you know, I think $3,500 is probably the biggest, most expensive space we have, something like that. Just depends how much you soak up, right? But still, it's not $20,000. So our vendors are who pay for the event. It's not hard to figure out. So the more vendors we have, the more people we can have, the more amenities we can do, all that kind of junk.
Our event is set up 100% by type of product you sell. So if you're going in the grocery store and you're looking for bread, you're going to find it in the bread aisle. If you're going to Dino's and you're looking for wheels, it's going to be in the wheel aisle. So they entice our shoppers by offering show specials, and now Dino's show specials have become well known. As much as the show is known, the vendor expo is known. The vendors take advantage of that and know that if we offer some specials. People are going to come out there to buy. And so we'll have people all year long contact us and say, hey, is so-and-so going to be there? And they're asking for vendor specific. They're looking for those vendors because they say, we've been saving up all year long and we're coming to Dino's to shop.
There's so many rad parts that are available to us that we have a lot of amazing options. For example, the truck I'm building right now has an LT1 in it, and you're taking the modern technology with the old school drivetrain and you're building a new car. You're just giving it the styling, the metal, the flow, the color that we like of the old school era.
We really want to embrace the market's love for what they've experienced in the past. So, like Thomas, for example, that's his grandfather's truck. 1967, they've had it since new. So when we approach making products or supporting the industry the way we can, we make the body panels, we do the interior parts, and we want to make that as original as possible. Good, bad, or indifferent, you can use it on a full aftermarket truck like Rockford's, or you can use it on a custom truck like Thomas's, or you can use it on the truck that your grandfather has in the backyard. That's really what we look for when we're producing products.
We have all the awesome vendors. Presented by is Jim at CPP, and if you want to talk about a quality company to work with, and I'm not a paid commercial guy, the truth is, that dude makes you want to be a better man. He's a good dude, and we appreciate the support. He's like Terry, he's just like a think tank.
It's just a fantastic event. You know, we started in the truck market, although we've expanded way beyond that, and so my roots are there. I feel like this event kind of represents that. Started really small like we did and grew into this amazing event that it is today. And I just want to give back. I can't walk down an aisle or look at a vehicle at this show and not see something that came from CPP. And so we feel blessed to have that kind of impact in the marketplace. And at the same time, we really try to pay attention to what's popular in the industry. And we support it not only with the products we build, but the tech support that we offer to help people navigate any challenge they'll find along the way.
Years ago, when Justin was interviewed by one of the magazines about what do you think is going to be the most popular thing in 15 years, Justin was the only one to say C10 trucks. And look where we're at now. I mean, this is all C10 trucks everywhere. So we're known for trucks. We do everything else, but trucks is our bread and butter. This was the first truck with our OBS chassis underneath it. We've sold a handful since then. We debuted this at Triple Crown, and it drew the crowd in because it's an OBS. You know, there's nothing too crazy about it. We kept it classy. We didn't do all crazy jet boat paint jobs and all that on it. We just wanted to keep it simple. Something in 20 years you're gonna look at it and still go, that's a nice truck. So besides chassis, we do a bunch of billet parts, LS, LT valve covers, drive-by-wire gas pedal or a hot rod billet gas pedal, brake pedal arms. We do a whole bunch of CNC stuff besides just the chassis stuff.
What our objective is to set up somebody with a budget of $25,000 roughly can go and buy a Tahoe, a Suburban, an Escalade from 2007 to 2013 and take all of the components from that donor vehicle, bolt them onto this frame, drop your body on it, and have a really, really nice ride. And what that does is it opens up some doors to people that probably weren't available before. So we don't have to use all these new components. We don't have to spend a fortune to get a truck to ride correctly, and we can enjoy it. If a brake caliper goes out, they're available at the local parts store. If our alignment is off a little bit, we can take it somewhere and it can get realigned to the specs of the new vehicle. So where we're at right now is we will cover from 1967 through all of the square bodies. We've got a crew cab short box model that we just pulled out. We're really excited about that. We'll get that going, but we can cover all of those trucks.
You know, we get this all the time. Hey, I have this Ford pickup truck that has a Chevy motor in it. And I'm like, well, just bring the motor. But the truth is, like, I don't care about any of that. Like, I don't care if you dig it. We're lucky because we have, you know, Hoagie that builds probably the most amazing blazers. Switch Suspension, who builds crazy builds. He builds a lot of my stuff now. I mean, I'm very lucky.
Switch Suspension, we focus on the chassis side of things, so suspension, steering, and brakes. That's kind of our wheelhouse. Those are the parts that we like to distribute. And obviously for us, air ride is important. That's kind of a segment in the market that a lot of people are a little afraid to touch, but we embrace it. We install it, we use it, we're enthusiasts. You know, I don't hire sales guys. We don't have any sales guys. We have like guys that don't work on cars for a living anymore answering the phones. So they're experienced and they know what they're talking about. So that's definitely where we strive to be the best customer service we can offer and advice and stuff like that. But yeah, the air suspension products have come so far. Technology, Bluetooth, wireless connectivity, auto leveling features, amazing stuff.
So we've heard a lot of great things about Dino's and how big of a show it is. I can definitely vouch and say it is a massive, massive show, and you have all of these people and there's so many vendors here and everything. I'm very impressed to see how awesome of a free show is able to put on, and you know how many people just want to come out and experience this. Gear Store has been in business for 25 years. We specialize in high-performance automatic transmissions and now custom billet Yank performance converters. We sell complete transmission packages. This year at SEMA, we actually debuted a billet direct drum for 4L80. We also debuted a couple of our 300M billet main and input shafts for 4L80s. A lot of people just know us as automatic transmissions, but we are slowly expanding into the part sales as well. The big difference with our 4L80 drum that we have versus anybody else is, you know, number one, it's got a 36 element sprag, which is pretty standard, but it actually has extended capacity frictions and it uses 4L80 size frictions versus the other aftermarket ones that are using the power glide friction. So you have more surface area on the clutches, which are, in result, able to handle more power as well.
This is actually Jeg's first time at Dino's, and I'm blown away. There's thousands of cars and trucks here, and this show's been amazing so far. One of the reasons Jeg's is here is a lot of people know us being a drag racing and hot rod performance parts company, but we also sell restoration products. So if you think about a truck like this, we have everything to actually restore it. So not only do we sell the brands you know and love, like Edelbrock, Holley, and all that, we sell our own line of products, and we sell restoration products too. So the truck in our booth today, it was built by a gentleman named Bill, who I recently met. He's a big Jeg's customer. And what excites me about this build is he built almost the entire car in his garage. And it has parts from Jeg's and also all the retailers local here in Arizona. So we're happy to have him in our booth, and Jeg's is happy to support not only really nice show cars, but all the people working in their garage, which is many of the people here at Dino's.
Day 2 at the Get Down. Taking a minute just for a few quiet moments before the storm. There's a moment when I have the event that I need to go out before it's all set up. It's just a parking lot. And I get to reflect a little bit, and I don't know how to explain that, but it's something personal for me that I'm blessed to be able to do this. My voice didn't crack because I was sad or crying. It just said, it's very emotional for me. Then we build this city of people and everybody's having a great time. And the truth is, like Terry said, I can hardly wait to get up the gate. I'm chomping at the bits to get up there, to greet everybody that comes in. And that's the juice for me.
It's not like I'm doing this big sacrifice of, oh God, I gotta go do this. The truth is that I enjoy it because I enjoy being with Dino, and I know that he feels the same way with me. And so part of it is doing what we do best, and that's just going out and enjoying it.
And then you get to roll around in the golf cart and just see everybody having a good time. Families out, and there's so much chaos going on in the world with all this other junk. This is just kind of a real neat thing.
We're here, we're on this planet together, and we're fortunate to be part of this movement. And when you look at the things that you cherish, it's like, yeah, breaking bread with some of your peeps, looking at some cool classics. The trucks become second, third, and fourth tier when the family and the vibe and the relationships work their way to the top. And that does start from Dino.
People ask us, how long can you do it? Well, I'm 64, going on that. And we seem to be steaming. With Terry by my side doing it, and my family involved and all that kind of junk, I don't know what the expiration of this is. We're having a great time. Everybody seems to have a great time. I know our vendors do really, really well, and that's important to us. I want it to be really about the community is the same as Ronnie says. So, you know, I guess I could get one of those handicap scooters too and zip around. I don't know, dude.
You look back in your life and you're like, okay, what did I have? Do I have all the cars in the world? Do I have the biggest house in the world? Or do I have relationships with people that I cherish and that I can pick up the phone? And I know their kids now, right? So their kids were 10, 11, 12, and now they're adults, and you go to their weddings and you're like, yeah, that's life.